Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company. If you're around family, friends, maybe some folks from out of town, and you want to start a conversation that everyone will be interested in, start talking bourbon. And if you're going to talk bourbon, you better be talking to Caleb Kilburn. He is the master distiller at Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company. Caleb, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
I honestly enjoy conversations with you because you're so knowledgeable, obviously a master distiller. Man, you've accomplished this at a really young age. For those who didn't hear you the last time you were on the show, tell me a little bit about your background, if you would.
Let's see. I started getting into distilling while I was still in school, going around shadowing, learning from anyone who was willing to let me stand under shadow. And I've just had a blessed path of people who have taken an interest in helping me gain a foothold in this industry. And luckily, the ownership of Peerless, Carson and Corky Taylor, were more than willing to give a young guy a shot. And luckily, it's paying dividends so far.
Well, it's because you put out a quality product. And if you thought, you hear about bourbon and all these prices that are just outrageous, you want quality bourbon. You want it at a good price. How about a Black Friday special or 2 or 3? So, Caleb, let's talk about that. You do have Black Friday specials. Tell me about them.
We do. So, it's actually going to be starting, of course, Black Friday.
There we go.
Offered on Saturday and then also on Monday in the gift shop. But between those dates, it'll also be available on our website. On merchandise, we have 20% off of our merchandise products where you can see different hats, different T-shirts.
20%?
20%.
Wow, that's nice. Okay.
Oh, yes. And we're actually extending that onto our tours as well. So if it's Friday, you're stuffed on turkey, you want to get out, you're going to see something different, come take a tour. It's going to be all under one roof, get out of the elements. I know we've got some wind heading our way in a little bit, so maybe the idea of staying indoors is going to be nice for a bourbon tour. Yeah,
that sounds good. Tell us about that tour experience, because for folks out of town, they're probably curious. They hear about good Kentucky bourbon, but you're doing it, and what I like, it's the combination of, you've got family distillery, you've got the old style, but you also got new technology. So tell me about the experience at Peerless.
Absolutely. So when you're talking about Peerless, it's the revival of a really old family distillery with this modern execution and technology. So when you go on the tour, you're going to get to see the family history, the family heritage, as well as these new processes like using a sweet mash, using some computer aids to help enable our distillers to make a better product. As you go through from family history to fermentation, distilling, bottling, you get to see it all. And it's all under one roof, one location, downtown Louisville, and it's not terribly located either. It's just west of Louisville Slugger.
Wow, I like the holiday feel of sipping a little bit of bourbon and good conversation with folks. So we've talked about the merchandise. Tell me a little bit about the Black Friday specials on some of your great products here.
So on our 750 ml bottles, those are our largest format bottles. If you buy one, it's going to be at regular price. But the second one you buy, you're going to get $10 off.
Well, all right, that
if
works. I like the sound of that.
You're going to get $20 off. If you buy a total of 4, we're going to give you 50 off. So it's going to stack pretty well, and it's going to get pretty aggressive as far as the Black Friday deals. Now, if we're thinking stocking stuffing, that's where the 200 ml bottle is going to come into play. These little guys are going to fit perfect. They're just the right amount. Stuff the stocking. The bourbon-loving woman or man in your life is going to really appreciate this. So that is going to be $5 off when you buy it accompanied with the larger bottle.
Okay, here comes the educational process. This is what's fun for me.
Yes.
Okay, so when we're talking about rye, we're talking about sweet mash, and I know it's hard to articulate in just a couple of minutes, but what will you see at Peerless that makes it a little bit different?
So when you go through, the biggest thing I think you're going to see is passion. It's going to be that way from the people sharing our story, the people who are telling about the process, the people executing the process. When you see how much passion goes into making Peerless, I think that's going to be the real difference.
Okay, the popularity of your bourbon is really off the charts.
Yes.
Okay, explain that a little bit. So how do you know, as a master distiller, when you say, I've got something here, is it all about the palate? I mean, I know you have a sophisticated palate, and I would assume with the family business, you got folks who say, let me have a little taste of that. Do you know right away? Is it one of those things where you have to, I don't know, do some kind of study and you get 20 people in a room, or is it something you go, I know this works. This is good.
So currently at Peerless, I've got about 5 or 6 pallets that I trust. It's something where no one's opinion carries more or less weight than anyone else. We all have veto power, and every single barrel gets reviewed. It's not something where if we've got to come up with X number of cases, we just go out to the rick house and grab a bunch of barrels down and mingle it up. We go through, we pull a sample from every single barrel. We go through, we evaluate it for quality, and depending on where it shakes out, we're going to either put it as a small batch product where we're going to be taking different barrels, putting them together to kind of build a product that's better than the individual pieces that went into it, or if it's of sufficient quality, we'll set it aside as a single barrel. And those are going to be offered up to our different retail partners, many of them here around Louisville, who are going to be offering our products, should be around the holidays. But we do also have a few of those offered in-house.
Okay, I am hesitant to talk about your peers because you are peerless. But there has to be some jealousy out there as far as the way that you do things, the quality, the technology, someone who's young and knowledgeable like yourself, but you've got the combination of all that family knowledge that is passed on from generation to generation. What do the folks who are in the industry say to you?
Well, first off, they give me a hard time for being so young. But as far as the different people, there actually isn't a whole lot of jealousy or ill will.
They just love the business.
It's something that is just truly special, and it's one of the reasons I love the bourbon industry so much. It truly is a industry that is built on camaraderie. Everyone comes together. We all try to help build one another up. So I won't say my product's better or worse or anything else than anyone else's. It's different. That's going to come from our sweet mashing technique and our low barrel entry proof, serve everything at barrel strength. I do everything I can to make this as good as I can, but we all make good whiskey.
Wow, wow. It's such an interesting story and so important to Louisville. You know, I talk often to the mayor comes on the show, Convention and Visitors Bureau comes on the show, and they talk about heads and beds and what your business has done for, to bring visitors to the state of Kentucky. You've got to be proud of that. When you talk to people about what you do for a living, it's like you really do. I mean, you shouldn't have to pay for a hotel room anywhere here in town. As much business as you bring, you know?
Well, it's something that it strikes me as odd. I mean, people show up to watch us fulfill our passion. Like, if you had something you just absolutely love more than anything, and they pay you to do it, and then people pay to watch you do it, it's a strange industry.
All right, again, Black Friday specials. Let's put all the information up on the screen because you can save some money on really quality bourbon, state-of-the-art bourbon with a great and rich history as well. There's the information. Anything you want to add to that, Caleb?
Well, because it is holiday season and people may want to physically gift the tour, because yes, you can buy it online, but it's hard to actually put that in the present. If you want to, you can come into the distillery, you can buy these tour passes, and what you'll do, you'll walk in, you'll still buy it at that 20% off, put it in a stocking, put it in an envelope.
Give someone a memory.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Give someone a really good memory. Again, it is the Kentucky Peerless Distilling Company. Caleb, always enjoyed talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to have to go sip a little bit one day. You good with that?
We've got a commercial break coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Okay, we'll talk about that.